the day. Let's go. Bit of lag here. It's a little better. Really considered doing a lot of cleanup in this stash. I don't really need that. I'm gonna equip it anyway. I'm pretty sure I'll find it. There it is. Everything else is fine. Oh, that's just the same thing. I'll leave that where it is. Oh, cool. Alright, that's all I collected so far in terms of gems, 5 color. Just trying to make enough space. To add one final set here. Do I have everything here? I don't think I do. I think it was Zunamasa that remains. Nope, that's there. Harvester's there. So is that apparently. This too. Got an idea. That's already there. Alright, I accomplished what I was looking for. Now, I just need to arrange everything else here. Maybe not hold these gems in there. Nah, I don't need to talk to him. So everything else that I actually need is going to be right here, which means that anything else that I don't need, I can go ahead and salvage here. Salvage that too. Thought about it. Decided not to keep it. But this tall man's finger, that's a good one. Definitely keeping that. That's interesting. Should be able to use that too now. I'll place it. Right there. Sure. Leave that alone. Personal stash stuff. Wait. Oh, there it is. That's to go revenues. These are the cents I used. I used those too. That's everything I use. Where is it? That's definitely gotta be around here. Oh, there it is. Obviously. I shouldn't need that anyway. Never mind. If I recall correctly. That's what I was supposed to do. That's probably not going to go very well for me. Too much poison. Well, that's good, I guess. Sure, why not? I guess Spirit won't just blow off when that explosion came in. I can't get used to fire breath. There's just so much you gotta do with it. So, use Jade Harvester. As soon as we can start. Oh, you mother... Seriously, nightmare. Nothing worthwhile there. Nothing else here. Come on, click on it. Oh, son of a gun. Wasn't paying attention. Oh, come on. I mean, cooldown was refresh and everything. Nice. That's cool. Hey, Potato, how's it going? I've been better. Something happened at the job today. Good job. Yeah, more personal stuff. Have you ever came across a business practice that where managers are required to write someone up at least, required to write someone up on their team a week? One person out of that week is going to get written up for something. It doesn't matter whether or not if they did it, they're just going to get written up for. I mean, it's complete total BS, but yeah, that's the plan. Being able to chill on some D3. Fail at 90%. That's two. That's, oh, this is just, this is not helping. Seriously, that did not help. Oh, that's cool. Ah, my bad. That's totally my fault there. Good stuff right there. That definitely helps. Yo, enough of that. Take the shield and go somewhere else. Not that way. Oh, I wanted to spirit walk so badly. Definitely nothing from that. They filled out rather quickly. Thanks to Pyropylon, anyway. It's definitely something for me to get used to. They're gonna keep doing that to me. Place poison dart with armor or something. Surely I can do armor. There we go. You already know what happens. So I need to see what happens. Yes. Anything can happen. And that's including you continuously lowballing me. Oh no. That's not the issue at all. But it's just I don't understand why they have certain rules in place like that. especially if everyone's trying to do the right thing. Production is very difficult to make when there's hardly any work that you can do. More often than not, we're told to not stand around, do something. But that's the thing. If there's no work to be done, that's going to result in people just standing around. Find something to do. Just think of anything as long as you're being productive and busy. Okay? But where do we begin on that? Fortunately, when I'm actually on the job, on the floor, at the dry receiving dock, the warehouse, I tend to be creative, so that keeps me from getting bored. Can't really speak for everyone else there, but I know I can be creative, so that helps me out. Oh, look at me. They just do so much damage for no reason. Oh joy, this is fun. That's true. Ah, freaking A. Hate the latest bushes like that. I gotta stay alive. Oh, stupid. I hate... Oh my gosh, I hate it when knockback happens that way. I get knocked in the air, I can't even move. So the next attack is guaranteed to hit, and it's a one-shot. Like that right there. But I gotta keep moving to prevent impalers from hitting me. You got Vortex on top of that. And the only reason why I'm sticking around is because there's a blue there. And I can get progression orbs that way. So now that's over. Next floor, please. You have employees there that are eager to work. There's one position known as order filling. I mean, you're always working there, but when it comes to unloader, the job where I work, at the position that I currently work now, when I changed from order filler, there have been issues whether or not if we'll have to just go over to a different area to work, and we'll have to choose. More often than not, what was it? We were recently told that one of us is going to have to go over to Perishable Side tomorrow. Perishable Side is also known as the cold side. Everything is just cold. You're pretty much working in a giant refrigerator. If you're not working in a giant refrigerator, you're working in a giant freezer. It's literally the size of a huge warehouse. So there's always plenty of space for wrap stations, where pallet stacks get wrapped and sent over to dock areas for trucks. This way they can be loaded. That kind of thing. And I get this map again. I don't know if we're being found, and if I'm being found at fault for. Stuff. I do my job when I'm there, and I try my best to stay quiet. Unless someone is attempting to intervene or do something as a means of sabotage, then I'm going to be straightforward and confront them about it. But aside from that, I'm mostly quiet. Now, it's not that they want the workers to be creative, but it's... Long story short, that's how it can be sometimes. But it raises a flag when one manager tells a group of associates, like a small group of associates, that managers are required to write up an associate once per week. They have to write up someone, which honestly, it's stupid. It's not even opinion, it's fact. It's pretty stupid. When I used to order fill, I caught wind of it finally when I noticed that my trip, shortly after I got finished order filling it, I wanted to confront a QA audit member, an audit associate, about my trip, if there's anything that I was missing. Surprisingly enough, he tells me he doesn't know, but he has my trip on standby. It's not being sent up to the dock. I'm still trying to figure out why. He pretty much tells me that if there's anything wrong, he'll let me know. Great. So you don't know if there's anything wrong, but at the same time, you're more than eager to audit me. I'm pretty sure I followed the code of conduct pretty well. And I'm often seen, but not really heard. So finally, I get my name called to the QA audit station. I was like, oh man, I knew something was going on. Let me go ahead and check this out. So apparently there was a case I somehow missed, which is extremely unlikely for that to happen to me. But in that case, it happened. Unfortunately, from my end, there's no way I'm able to prove that one way or the other. So yeah, that was an occurrence on my record, which results in a 6-month occurrence. That lasts for 6 months. But I'm supposed to shrug it off like there's no big deal. No, I'm not the type to do that. So, yeah, I'm good. I thought about it for a while, definitely. And shortly after it happened, I slowed down my speed, but not to the point where it would affect my production. I stayed above. It's 6 months until that occurrence expires that they write you down for. Keep in mind, despite the fact that you're doing your due diligence at the job, there's still a chance that you can get an occurrence for something. Because managers are required to do that. Although I should have gotten used to it at this point. I've been working for the Walmart company for about 7 years now. And I don't need any motivation to be creative. Especially not from any managers. Yeah. See, the thing I picked up on at Walmart throughout my 7 years of working there so far is even for some strange reason, even when you're trying to follow the rules, you're doing wrong in some kind of way. I don't think I ever told you this story, but I told it to a couple of associates that are on my... I told it to an associate who's currently on my team. And there was definitely an issue that was taking place. I was always the one being sent to the department with the most freight. And if it doesn't have the most freight, it has the second most freight. But either way, what happens is that if you're assigned a workload that's twice the amount of hours of your shift, there's no way humanly possible that they can expect you to finish that in half your shift time. I used to work overnight, and I had to deal with that BS for a whole year before I got transferred over to the DC. And that was because an example of the amount of freight that I had to deal with, I kid you not when I say this, it's about 15 hours of freight that you have to deal with pets, whether it's pet food, pet accessories, you name it. Anything to deal with pets, I had to deal with it. Anything that had something to do with pets, I had to deal with it because I was always sent in that area. Until finally, another employee showed up and he was over there in that section for a while. Until eventually he ended up leaving. I was still working there, and so got handed down to me again. They're like, "Oh, Baron's going over the pets again. Baron's going over the pets," and that was the talk. That was literally the talk amongst employees at the break room. I was like, oh my gosh, please don't even joke about that. Surprisingly enough, manager the next day at startup meeting, Baron, you're going over the pets. Because apparently there was no one else who could actually do anything with that. They never... And that's the issue here. Another issue is that even when I'm trying to work on everything, you have that one manager who is always getting on your case. Always finding something to Billy about. I'm going to use that word instead of the alternative, Billy. Because that was exactly what she was doing. She would Billy about the whole... The craziest stuff. And I'm like, what do you want from me? I'm doing my job exactly as I'm supposed to.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Hey, thank you for joining me on my journey, my friend. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. And
hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
You guys are awesome. Thank you for the follow. But that was just so insane.
Hello, my
and
friend.
She keep doing that.
Stay a while and listen.
Oh snap! That's 3 people. That's insane. I really do appreciate that. Continuing on with my story. So eventually, oh, I didn't get to the good part yet. Let me get to that. It was like at every shift that I had to deal with, at every time I had to deal with pets, which is pretty much every day that I would work overnight. They would wait until the last 30 minutes of the overnight shift to send help my way. And that's the crazy thing. They would literally wait that long. So for the whole 9 hours, I mean, not 9 hours, because you actually had an hour lunch and like 2 15-minute breaks. So you would say about maybe 7.5 hours of work. You would have to deal with that issue. You get no help over there until like the last 30 minutes. Hated that. And it got so bad to the point where I felt like I was being set up by management. I kid you not. It felt like management at that point was just being paid to show up. I'm not sure if that actually happened to you before, but it's happened to me plenty. Ah, man. I also have some crazy stories that I wanted to share about the food store I used to work in. The family-owned food store. It will remain nameless, but... ah, my gosh. So, you know applications and how they work. And where they're constantly telling you, what was it? And you have like a whole list of things that you have to fill out, including the category of job position. So I put down the job position that I was requesting, because I don't want anything to do with cash registry. I want nothing to do with that. Because here's the deal with cash registry at the time. And it still is, it still is an occurrence to this day. Anyone who works as a cashier, and if their till is short of any money, they're automatically fired. There's no rule, or there's no exceptions to the rule or anything. No excuses, no exceptions. If you're short on your till when it came to working at the cash register, you're automatically fired. My brother told me this some time ago before I even started working there. And so that's how it was. Crazy. I didn't even do anything with the cash register. And I was glad I didn't. I did my fair share of stocking, bagging groceries around that time. This was about... It's going on 8 years ago when I used to work at this place before I finally left there and started working at Walmart back in 2011. So, during that time, I want to make sure I get my story straight. It was pretty much doing everything except for cash registry and bookkeeping. That even included having to deal with some of the meat employees' jobs. If the meat, if the meat department, if they didn't take care of any meat products over there that they didn't put away in the fridge, and if we saw that and didn't say anything about it, they wouldn't get in trouble for it. We would. There were even times where I got in a write-up for bagging groceries at a register that was literally full. Customers had like a pretty long line of customers. Granted, I was the only one there bagging groceries. And there was this one bookkeeper who will also remain nameless who had it in for me. And oh my gosh. But I had to stay silent because the moment that I even attempted to respond or retort by any means, I was going to be in trouble. I do recall there was a moment where I nearly got fired from that same job at the food store. After talking about how bad the place was. I learned then the best thing for me to do is just keep quiet. Just keep quiet, do your job, man. Don't even say anything to these guys. You never know if they have it in for you or not. Oh my gosh. The durability is gone. Anyway, as far as my experiences go, I still do what I can, and I still do what's right, despite that the results may seem relatively small at the time. I think it's a conquest I just completed. Oh, another one of those. It's the max. So that's not exactly the best one there is. Oh well, what can you do? Yeah, I'll definitely get better. I just need a change in scenery or something like that. I'll find it, but one thing I definitely learned the hard way is to never quit a job without having another one in reserve, without giving your 2 weeks notice. There was a time I did quit a job back in 2007, and I didn't give my 2 weeks notice. I just decided not to show up that day. And I get a call on the phone asking whether or not if I actually still wanted my job. And I just honestly said, no, not really. And that was the end of it. I haven't worked in that spot ever since. I was a McDonald's employee once, and that lasted from 2006 to 2007. So I have a work history, and there's just certain things that I won't tolerate. I hated how, I'm not even sure if they still do this to this day. I hated how the whole food preparations thing went down, along with after hours cleaning. To me, that was the worst thing. There was one time where we were allowed to take food with us. Is that 2? Yeah, that's 2 of them. No wonder. What was I saying? Right. There was a time where we were able to take food home with us, but no, not the case anymore. Instead, they would much rather have that food thrown away than for you to take it home with you. Because that was apparently the rules. Those were the rules. Can't do anything with that. Yeah, it was pretty sad. Definitely. And they did the same thing at Bell's. They did the same thing at the food store. I'm not gonna lie though, I did my fair share of taking some things home. There were a few associates back then that had my back when I requested some things. Did a couple of stuff on the DL, like, you don't have to pay for this, but make sure that it doesn't stay in this kitchen by the time the boss arrives tomorrow. So I take it out of there, and it had a sticker on there that read paid, but yeah, it was definitely the opposite. But to be fair, there were some associates at the food store that were just really cool and down to earth. They'd be the first to tell you about how shady certain business practices were over there. Minimum wage, no real pay raise. You work there for a year, oh, congratulations, you may get a nickel raise. I'm not even kidding. you may get a nickel raise. If you're a manager, you may get a 15-cent raise if you work there for a year. That's how nasty it was. When I used to work at Walmart stores, it was a little better at Walmart stores, but I still started off at minimum wage as a cart pusher. So, shortly after a year passed, unless you're in really good with management, this is also a true story. Your usual performance rating was solid, and if anything, you would get a somewhere between 45 and 50-cent raise for every year you worked there. However, at the DC, when I started working there 4 years after my trials over at Walmart stores, it was a raise nearly every 3 months, which was insane, and I greatly appreciated that. And it was a good thing I started working there when I did, because I'm not even sure if they still have those same business practices anymore. But I suppose only time will tell. Only time will tell, my friend. But I have noticed this. The managers who I do really talk to, who I really became cool with, they either transferred or just worked for a different branch of the company, just never to be seen again by DC. They will either go over to what was it? A .com branch of Walmart, or they would either go over to a DC in a different location, like a different state. But it was always something related along those lines. Never exactly a true reason to explain why, but I bet people have been wondering more often than not why I'd be so ticked off when I'm at the job. I just want to be quiet. There's really no reason for me to talk to anyone. I'm just trying to get on with the day. But I've gotten used to physical labor as a middle class for so long that part doesn't really faze me anymore. It's more or less the people who surround you, and I have to watch their movements carefully so I don't get into any accidents with them. Because there have been some instances where I'll try and stay out of the way of someone.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Hey, thank you so much for joining me on my journey. I appreciate it. I really appreciate the follow, man. But what was it? There was something else, definitely, that took place. What was I talking about? Oh, right. They would end up getting in the way. And that forces me to literally stop. So let me stop and not do anything so you can get on by and do what you're doing. Because despite whatever path I choose to take, you end up intercepting me anyway, for who knows what reason. And it's crazy. They would rather rather try to walk through a narrow space as opposed to a space that has a whole lot more room to it. Instead of going around, they insist upon just continuing going straight despite there's a literal obstruction in front of them. That's insane. It's insane for them to do that. And it's also insane if they expect someone else to just tolerate such BS. They're not going to tolerate it. Instead, they're going to speak their piece, and they're going to say some words to you that you're going to wish they never said. Fortunately, for my sake, fortunately for the sake of a certain employee who will remain nameless, I haven't crossed that line, and I control myself very well. but there is one employee without a doubt, a longtime veteran at the job. He would literally say whatever. He'll say what he feels right at the spot if you get in his way, and you don't want to be that one that gets in his way. I had a front row seat to that. I wasn't on the receiving end of it, but I had a front row seat. I was like, oh man, he's letting him have it. I think this was a good one. I have to deal with veracity, though. No, I don't want to deal with veracity. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel good to talk about the job. Because it actually gives me something to talk about. And people can actually hear me and be entertained by it. So that does help tremendously. Oh my gosh. Bit me really hard. Oh no! Oh, I'm so close to Guardian. I am so close to Guardian right now. This will be good. This will be really, really good. Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. It does feel like it's not welcome there. It kind of brings a whole different meaning to no good deed goes unpunished, which I could have sworn that it was the other way around. No good deed goes unrewarded. But hey, who am I to say something about that, right? So, let's see. I can do one more of these and get to that Guardian. That's what I'm looking forward to right now. I'm actually not too far from Paragon 700. But still. Yes, it's a steal because you're stealing blood shards from me. You're not giving me anything that's viable. Yeah, that's definitely something to look forward to. Yes. That's an ideal job then. You get to have fun. Ooh, get out of the way. Oh my gosh. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't apply. It does not apply everywhere. Yeah, but there have been. I know there's a couple employees who actually transferred to the same shift where I'm working, and we each have different positions where we work in, and they usually tell me exactly what their opinions and thoughts are. Of course, I'm not going to share them with management because you just never know what they're going to do with that. But still, I totally agree with them, and I know exactly what they're going through. What do we have here? Oh, snap. That definitely helps. As far as anything that I would find hilarious or humorous in the slightest, just to pass the time, I like to go to a yes. I live in America. I mean, there are moments where I do kind of wish I can go someplace international, but I do know it's only going to be temporary because I haven't exactly established a way of living elsewhere other than in America. So, ultimately, this is where I'll be going back to. The country America, I mean. Oh, just die. Okay, he's done. Of course. World is safer. What can I actually talk about when it comes to stuff? Well, there was the job, and then there's video games to help pass the time, so there's that too. But then, what else is there? What else can I talk about? I don't know. Talking about the job or work history just usually gets a good conversation going. Like GameStop. Oh man. Like GameStop employees? I don't know how they even became. I don't know how they dealt with being employees. Not necessarily how they even became employees, just how they dealt with that. Because that is a very good example of shady business practice. You know it's bad when employees are literally forced to upsell to customers. Otherwise, they're at the risk of losing their job. Also, when it comes to GameStop, I was just never too fond of having the CD content and then having the hard disk outside the case, then being placed into the case after purchase with the sticker that reads new on there. That doesn't necessarily convince me that it's new. I do get that it may very well be a security practice to prevent theft. Although, to be fair, that's not necessarily going to always prevent theft. There's always that one eager person. Oh my gosh, I just got nuked. This kind of thing is usually cool, right? Nuke them all down, except for this one. We'll take him out too. He teleported out of my radius. The nerve of this guy. Either way, we're almost done. Almost. What percent? 90? Oh my gosh. So, Potato, is there anything that you would like to talk about? Understood. I feel that somewhat times too, actually. I don't normally say anything unless someone actually asks me a question. Ah, it's Perendi. I'm gonna have a hard time with him. Give me just a minute. Answer to that question, I don't really think it's all that great. Because when you think about it, that's what you have your ability fetish on me for in the first place. So it just defeats the purpose of you having to spawn fetish army after killing 2 elites, considering that the cooldown is significantly shortened anyway when you're wearing Zunimasus. I think that's what it does. I personally haven't used Carnival for anything. No, not Carnival. It was it's the visage of it's a G word. I don't know how to pronounce that. But my season journey has been complete. I can finally do other stuff. And okay. Yeah. Honestly, I think the most you can get in terms of pets from a single fetish army would be 8 pets or 8 little fetishes, but or should I say fetish sycophants? Yes. But the Belt of Transcendence, that's a really good belt, and that pretty much gives you the passive of fetish sycophants. Every time you cast, and every time you hit an enemy with the mana spender, a fetish is summoned. And it will remain summoned for about 60 seconds. And that counts for each sycophant. You can get up to a total of 15 additional sycophants that way. So technically, you would have a total of 23 in a fetish army that way. And another thing is, if you were to include Gargantuan, that's an additional 3. So that's literally a total of 26 pets that you can have. But the thing with Zunimasus is that you have to cast a mana spender on a certain target that you're looking forward to killing, so you can use the 6-piece bonus damage. Let me profile. Well, that's a good job. It's a really good job. That makes sense. Alright, so at this point, I have some gems that are level 70. What's over here? Oh, right. Just save and everything will be fine. Speedy, normal rifting. Sure, why not? Of course, there's no guarantee that a reforge is going to turn it into something I like. But there is an off chance that I could get something to start with that. So that's good, I guess. Golden health pickup, I don't really need that. Thanks to Thing of the Deep, I have golden health pickup plus 20 yards. So I don't really need that right there. I suppose when it comes to movement speed, do I really need that there? I'm not sure if I do. Nah, I don't need that.
What's wrong with you? Sit down in the chair. On the couch.
6:34. Sure.
BJ,
6:34.
sit on that couch now or you finna come lay down.
Let me close this door.
Sit up, sit down.
Got another Helltooth tunic here. What else can I get away with? Not what I was looking for. And that's it. Nothing else I can do with that. Unfortunately. So the plan is to see how far I can continue doing this stuff here, I guess. What else we got? Okay, finally, allies showed up. Locust Swarm for Tsunamasas? No, not really. Then again, not too sure. Although it's probably not necessarily recommended. The mana spender I tend to use would be Acid Cloud.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, it might. I mean, I do believe it does count as a mana spender.
Alright, be right back, okay? Coming back. You know it right now. I'm gonna go back to work, okay? Coming back, okay? Okay? Alright, watch you get back.
All right. here. I suppose that's fine. Acid cloud damage is max. It's almost max. Considering, yep, it's almost max. So far, the purpose is being served very well. Whenever things go south, I can jaunt to make sure that I don't take any damage for 3 seconds. I suppose this is a good map as well. Why would I need a lidless wall, though? Seems strange. Darn, I was looking for a really good one. I don't exactly have the means to reforge either, so I'm not going to bother trying to reforge. So you keep telling me, Kadala, but you never give me what I want. So, stop with that like nonsense. Yeah, true. I know Geed was a pain in the neck in Diablo 2. I mean, I wouldn't dare expect her to be any less of a pain in the neck. It just gotten to the point where I've rarely even I rarely even decided to visit Geed. Maybe I'll just activate some of his dialogue every now and then, but didn't really want to talk to him about anything. Oh, Rift Guardian. So we're gonna be having some fun. Right? Right? Oh, they already got to him before I did. Alright. I remember there was a time where we used to full clear simply because we needed additional mats and everything was just really expensive at the time. Okay, so there goes the boots now, I guess. Oops. Ah, stop that. Ah, darn. They all left. How many do they even have in there? That's plenty. Invite to a game. Public game. Oh, don't do that. Ooh, run, run. Suppose only time will tell if I walked in on something really cool. It's just a scoundrel token. Don't really care too much for scoundrel tokens. Another one of those. Oh, what the freak? Two-handed. Oh, that's just brutal. Killing it. Okay. Okay, so that's... this should be better than... Yeah, this one's definitely better with this gory fetch that I have. That was just recently obtained. Gonna turn corpse spiders into hopefully cooldown reduction. There's mana regeneration, but I don't really need that. Oh, what the freak? Someone's got... Sure. Freaking. That works too. All this works. I don't mind. I wouldn't be surprised if I end up breaking the bank because of this. Literally. Yes. Indeed, I have found happiness. It is safe to say. They need to hurry up and kill that goblin. They're gonna kill that goblin. Like, did I even do anything to this? No, I didn't even roll it. Snap. Totally did not even roll that. Definitely rough time. As soon as I even get a slight amount of gold, I know I'm going to be set for a while until a certain amount of time has passed. It's supposed to be about 5 seconds. This way I can just run around and be lazy. Kill a couple things.
I'll go to my dad.
Say again? You want to come over here? Alright, nephew, so long as you don't do anything that you're not supposed to. Don't come in here and touching stuff, or you have to leave the room. Come on! I'm trying to play! I'm trying to play! Nephew, I know. I gotta play! Oh my gosh. He sounds like
Daddy,
oh.
Daddy, stop. Uncle, stop.
You keep telling me to stop. I'm trying to play a game.
Uncle.
See, right now, Potato, my nephew,
No.
he is literally
Diablo.
trying to take my hand off the mouse right now.
Diablo.
He's trying to take my hand off the mouse. It's funny. It's hilarious. Don't touch anything.
Uncle, it's only like dear. Dear.
Oh my gosh.
Tapio.
I know you don't try to be, but you're so hilarious right now.
Tapio.
Don't do that! Don't take my hand off the mouse! I gotta play. Alright, nephew, what do you plan to do?
Daddy, try. Daddy, Tapio. Daddy. Uncle, Daddy.
Don't touch anything.
Uncle, stop.
Why do you keep telling me to stop?
Daddy, try. Daddy. Uncle, please try. Please try.
He keeps trying to take my hand off. No. I can't stop. I refuse to stop. I'm in the middle of a stream right now. Be careful. You guys, okay. I'll be right back. Oh my gosh.
do after? Okay. Flush the toilet. No, there's something else. No, PJ. You gotta wipe. You don't know how to wipe? Don't flush. Gonna help you. Gonna help. Relax. Rub your hands together. Rub your hands together. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Nope, come over here. Come over here.
Gotta keep an eye on this lad. You know. Oh my gosh. Alright. So, we good? What? Don't touch anything. You want more cartoons? Here you go. Cartoons. There you go. Cartoons. Give it to me. Don't touch anything. Just be still. Watch cartoons or something. He's- Yeah, he's going around doing stuff. Yeah. Is it 6:05? Okay. I'll do about 5 more of these and then I gotta get going. 5 more, definitely rest in public. I gotta keep a close eye on him. You never know what he's gonna do. There may be a change in plans. Just saying. There may very well be a change in plans. Because now, that thing I may have possibly had to worry about, I may not have to worry about it.
Hi, Carl.
How's it going? Oh, there goes my real name. Not that you hadn't heard of it before. I refer to myself as Baron, though. I don't really like calling myself by my first name. But there are moments where I have to, for business reasons. What are you doing, nephew? You're supposed to be in the living room. No, do not climb over. Don't climb over. Just sit down in the living room and watch TV. You wanted cartoons. Gee whiz. What in the world is this stuff? Why did I even get most of this stuff here? Okay, I suppose that's fine. Alright. Again with these ancients I don't need.
What you doing? Okay. Oh, come on. You got them.
Okay, that could be a good one. I'll have crit chance and crit hit damage on that. Nothing like a good old scrimps. No, no. Darn it. Where do I go from here? How you doing? I'm doing alright. And yourself? That's good to know you're doing alright, my friend. Doggone it. AKA the Motown. That's like the real location of Hard Knocks right there. Mad respect to anybody who can get out of it. Got nothing but respect from anyone who's been raised in Motown. Oh, this is gonna be crazy. That's a good. That's. You may have a good point there. He would normally say something along the lines of, "Why did the chicken cross the road? Because it's so freaking raw." Oh my goodness. Is that it? Hey, is that all of it? My goodness. Cleared that rather quickly. This is what I mean by getting trolled. Why in the world am I getting barbarian items still? Like, seriously, I'm a witch doctor. What kind of use would I have for Raycors? Zero. I have zero use for Raycors, and then they give it to me anyway. Uh-oh. Oh, snap. Let me catch up to that. Ooh, what? Okay, I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. Y'all didn't see that. Don't worry, y'all did not see that. I mean, y'all can clip that if y'all want it, but y'all totally didn't see that. Oh no! No, 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 no! Oh, click on it! Oh my gosh! Go! What the freak? Like, I'm literally clicking on the exit and it didn't go because I was in chicken form. I don't know what it is. 1 minute I can pick up stuff when I'm angry chicken form, and the next I can't do anything else when I'm in angry chicken form except run and deactivate angry chicken. Either deactivate or like transform back into human from angry chicken. It's weird. Oh snap. It's over there where they are. I don't think I'll actually make it in time, but I can definitely have a good pace well enough to catch up to it, pick up the rewards before they all teleport out. Yeah, but the thing that he truly despises is when someone cooks, or someone sends some undercut chicken at the pass. The moment you do that, you turn in your jacket immediately. You might as well just turn in your jacket immediately. Just hightail it out of there. Don't ever show up to the kitchen again. Because that will send someone to the hospital. He's like, this chicken is raw. I'm gonna kill someone. You should have seen the look on his face when he said that. The look on his face is what sold it to me. Ah, this actually brings up a story. Oh, what the freak? Warning, incoming lag. Warning, incoming lag. Wait, is that it? Is that it? Okay, I think that's it. I thought there was going to be some incoming lag, because it was pretty bad last time we encountered a blue goblin. Now I'm trying to pick up the DB. Leave me alone. Oh man, I just propped. So we already know the gist of Hell's Kitchen, where every day you begin with a challenge. The winner goes on this really cool, and gets like a really cool reward, and the loser undergoes this really strenuous punishment at some point. So one of the punishments of the red team, and that just happened. So one of the punishments of the red team literally consists of them having to drink this custom-made protein shake, And one of the contestants was not having it, so she was all along the lines of, I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as I can. She throws hers away. Everyone else is trying to expose her for cheating. But here's where it really went down. The moment that one of the sous chefs caught on to it, he's like, okay, since one of the contestants threw away the protein shake, the remainder of the team, like the rest of the team has to finish it. And to make matters worse, I mean, she literally got out of, what was it? She seriously dodged a bullet out of that one for So she literally dodged a bullet when it came to having to drink the protein shake because she threw hers away prior. Everyone else has to suffer because of what she did, and her response was, "It's not that serious." Oh, that had me rolling for at least a couple minutes. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she just did that. And she just got away. She literally got away with having to endure a punishment like that. That was so messed up. No, it's not nice. Do not show me it. Okay, I was about to say. I came across a pile of blackthorns once, and I was just thinking to myself, no, they shouldn't have done that. Seriously? That primal could have been a better use as a piece of armor that I would like to actually have. But no. You know, the issue with the nephew is being told to sit down over and over again. Good stuff. Man, today has been something else. Plenty of storms in the summer. I think if anything, May of 2018 has probably been the month of most rain so far, which was really surprising. Maybe it has something to do with April flowers bringing May showers or something, instead of the other way around how it's supposed to be. Get it? Since April showers usually bring in May flowers? Or maybe that's a stretch and I should just quit while I'm going nowhere with it. Either way is fine. Just let me know in the chat. Don't worry, I can take a hint. I'm not exactly known for my comedic approach. Oh, snap, I can hear the crickets chirping already. Somewhere in my mind. Oh, what is he doing in the bathroom?
Hey, babe, what are you doing?
He was in the bathroom not too long ago, and he has to go again.
Okay, that's it. Get out the bathroom now. And sit down and watch TV.
Please let that be a good traveler's pledge. Please let that be a good TP. There's no guarantee. Darn. Split Tusk is not necessarily my favorite either, so I leave that alone sometimes. Freak, man. What am I supposed to do with that? I suppose I can hold on to it for the sake of an intelligence and vitality. I'm not really hoping for much in that regard. Got 48 keys, y'all. 48 keys. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of startled me at first when I was seeing that, and when I caught wind of it, I kept hearing the toilet seat slam, and normally that doesn't happen that doesn't normally happen when I'm by myself. If I could tell you a story, then it would be about me and not necessarily wanting to stare at a reflection in the mirror in a very dim lit room at night. And this would be like after midnight. So I wake up around 2 in the morning, and I always find myself staring staring the complete opposite direction from where I would normally face the mirror, right? I'm not sure if you ever heard of this before, but when you have a candle lit right next to a mirror and you find yourself getting closer and closer to the mirror, you start to hallucinate. I don't know if the stories are true or not, but I'm not the one who's known for going to explore such things. So I would just leave that alone entirely. I wouldn't even go across a YouTube video like that, because that kind of stuff right there is like nightmare fuel. So I'll just leave it alone. Kind of gave me an idea, however, to create a concept. Well, I actually just wrote the concept down. I didn't actually put it into a drawing or anything yet. It's been a while since I drew anything. But this creature, literally, you cannot see it unless you're nearby a mirror. You can only see its reflection, but otherwise it's invisible. You can't see it. And the strangest thing is that if you stand still long enough, then you will literally see a parallel version of yourself that's directly in front of you. And what it does is that it mimics your every movement, but in parallel fashion. As you move your left arm, this same being actually moves his right arm, that kind of thing. It's the it's an opposing motion. Which can be downright crazy sometimes.
Give me that pen. Now. What were you drawing? Were you writing something? Hey, were you writing something? Where?
Yeah.
What were you writing?
And if you lift your left arm, it lifts his right arm. Because you know it's supposed to be parallel. Everything... It's like it moves exactly like the reflection of your mirror. Like your reflection. Everything is on the opposing side. But be careful not to be entrapped by its movements for too long, because you'll discover shortly after, while it's mimicking your movements for an extended period of time, it begins to control what you do. However, it hasn't exactly shown any signs of hostility in terms of controlling you. Because if it did, then not really. No, that wasn't really the case. Man, wizards are really strong here. Oh my gosh, I didn't collect money first before I propped. Gotta collect gold in order to keep my toughness up. No! Don't do that. Get it? Get it? Get it? Okay. Got it. Hey! Collect all that gold. Okay, we're good. Thank you, Thing of the Deep. Just makes collecting things so much easier. The pickup radius is amazing. Oh, what? I did not mean to do that. Go, go. Ooh, man. He's not going anywhere. There may be some incoming lag, though. There it is. There's the lag I was talking about. I knew it was coming. Ah, nah. That would be kind of weird if you think about it. Ah, what the freak. There's a mighty weapon. There's something else I was trying to collect here that I can't. Darn. Okay, that works. That's a nice restraint, by the way. I'll gladly hold on to that. Do I really need this room?
Uncle.
Nephew, go back to... No. Go back to the living room. I mean, he's trying to... he's trying to distract me. I know exactly what his game is. I'll fall for that. Oh, don't tell me. Like, he was telling me about this pizza that was in the fridge, and I was telling him that there was pizza on the table, and he was like, no. Nephew, you're being impossible. Okay, I suppose I can hold on to that one. Why not? Ancient legendary? Okay, never mind. No, I'm not dealing with that. Not a chance. Get rid of you, and you as well. I refuse. I will not deal with that. I will not. By any means. Yeah, but this kind of evil smile will never escape your memory. It would just claw its way down into the recesses of your mind. I am the thing that keeps you up at night. The evil that haunts every dark corner of your mind. You can't escape, nor can you stop me. But there is one thing you can do. I'm not sure exactly how to reiterate this line that I heard from a game that someone used to play called Riding with Strangers. But there's this pastor who would literally be driving at some early times in the morning, and you know that there was something extremely off about this pastor. At the same time, you're more than compelled to get on the ride with him. Your job is to distract him from his malicious intent, which we obviously already know what that is. Right? But, it's not what you think. He's not there to convert you to a religion or anything. It's far worse. I mean, he wants to add you onto his list of murders or something like that. Want to call you a heretic and things. But aside from that, there was this one line he said that I'm not gonna lie, it was actually pretty mischievous the way he said it. So at the end of the game, when the sun's about to rise and you're about to make it to your destination, it's like, oh, it seems that we've made it to what was it? It seems that we have arrived to the place where you intended to go. I do wish that we could spend more time together. Oh, they were waiting for me the whole time. I appreciate that. Pick it up! Oh my gosh! Don't worry. Before this is over, I'll tell you a bedtime story before I tuck you in. I really wanted to get... I would really like to be in voice acting. But I know that takes a certain level of commitment. And darn it. My friend. That's bad. If only you knew what I do in my free time. Well, it's actually just a stream, that's it. There's really not much else I do. Of course, you can tell yourself that just to lead them astray. No, that's not the case. I'm truly a good Samaritan. There's nothing to worry about. Don't worry, guys. There's nothing I do outside of Twitch that you all need to worry about. Wait, who is that exactly? I have no idea who that is, to be honest. By all means, give me some ideas. No! I need to catch up to them. Angry chicken, away!
Who? Yeah.
I would like to know more of this character you speak of.
Huh?
Something tells me that I'll get to know of this character very soon. Ah, yes. You have to send it to me via private message. So you can totally send it to me through private message. And I will look into the link later. A nobleman, seeking wisdom. Death has taught you well. Then the lad followed response with, Enough philosophy. I seek answers.
Answers indeed. I have them all if you have the questions. And what are the questions for these answers?
My dream has yet to be realized. I only hope that someday I can get closer to my dream.
Oh, look at that. Another pool of reflection. Wait, is he in the other area?
No, he isn't.
No, the barbarian is gonna kill him before I get my chance to deal damage to the lad. Take him out, fast! Okay, we got him. All is well. The Fifth Guardian is defeated. That's alright.
Darn. He's killing people left and right. Maybe I can meet up with him.
No, I fought again.
Do not kill my character. Do not. You may not kill my character. I refuse to die so easily. Kill the treasure goblins. Kill them.
My inflection's probably terrible anyway. Probably sound the same no matter what I do. Get away from that toilet seat! Okay. Because there are moments where he'll just be playing around in that toilet seat.
Come on, man.
Okay.
Remember our most primary rule. No witnesses. Kill everyone you see.
Unfortunately, I don't think I'm able to. That's a voice pattern that I'm not able to reach very well. That's a one-of-a-kind voice, actually.
you leave it. Actually, well, that can go leave it, but leave it. You're about to go to fall.
Alright, my friend, it is getting pretty late. It is unfortunate, but this is where we go our separate ways. Well, technically, this is actually where I just exit the stream, because I do have to get some sleep, and I have one more day of work tomorrow. And shortly after that day of work is done, I have 3 days in a row off again.
He's trying to give you a hug.
Alright, my friend. Give me a hug. Ah, give me a hug, nephew. Okay, give me a hug.
I love you.
Love you too, nephew.
Alright, you ready?
Alright, y'all.
PJ.
Time for this man to go.
You ready?
Be a responsible adult. Get some sleep. For those who stuck around to watch, I do appreciate your time, however long you decide to spend on this stream. And who knows, maybe we'll meet again next time I stream. Take it easy, y'all. Be safe out there.